What if your entire life, everything you had to do to survive, to eat, to find a mate, to keep your species going, had to happen in one single, perfect moment? It sounds like something out of a movie, right? But for some animals, that's not a thought experiment. It's reality.
All right, so today we're diving deep into the incredible world of biological timing, where being on time isn't just a good idea, it's literally a matter of life and death. You know, we always hear that phrase, survival of the fittest, and we immediately think of the fastest predator or the strongest animal. But what if that's not the whole story? What if the real key to survival isn't about being the biggest or the baddest, but just about being perfectly on time?
So first up, let's pull back the curtain on what's really going on here. We're talking about nature's invisible clocks, these deep, fundamental rhythms that run pretty much everything on the planet.
Look, every living thing follows some kind of rhythm. But some species have taken this to an absolute extreme. Their very existence hangs on hitting these tiny, high-stakes moments called ecological windows. You miss that window, and that's it. You might miss your only chance to eat for months, or your one shot at reproducing for the entire year. The pressure is just immense. So what does this perfect timing actually look like out in the wild? Well, let me tell you, it can create some of the most jaw-dropping spectacles nature has to offer.
Okay, check this out. In the rainforests of Malaysia, you can see thousands upon thousands of fireflies, all flashing together in this hypnotic, pulsing wave of light. And you might wonder, how do they coordinate that? Is there a leader? Nope, it's actually way cooler. It all starts with just one firefly flashing. Its neighbors see that flash and just tweak their own internal rhythm to match it. That tiny adjustment creates a chain reaction, a ripple that builds into this massive, unified beacon for mates. It's a love story written in light, and it only works if everyone hits their cue at the exact same time.
A synchronized light show is one thing, but imagine betting your entire species' future on just a single night. Not one group of animals, an entire ecosystem.
For coral reefs, this is the reality. I mean, think about it. A coral can't exactly go out on the town to find a mate, right? They're literally stuck in place. So their solution is one of the most astonishing events in the natural world, mass spawning. Triggered by this perfect cocktail of the lunar cycle, water temperature, and the tides, the entire reef just lets go. The ocean turns into this swirling pink cloud of potential life. But if a single coral misses that window by just a few hours, its reproductive chance for the year drops to zero. Gone.
So this just begs the question, right? How on earth do they do it? How do fireflies and corals keep such ridiculously perfect time? Well, the answer lies deep inside them, in their biological timekeepers.
These internal clocks are amazing, but they need to be set by something. They get calibrated by cues from the outside world. So for corals, we know it's the moon. For monarch butterflies, it's the length of the day that tells them when to migrate. And it's not just stuff in the sky. Polar bears are cued by the formation of sea ice. Salmon can literally feel the changing temperature of a river. Each species has evolved to read the exact signs that are critical for its own survival.
And this, right here, this is the real evolutionary superpower: anticipation. These clocks don't just help animals react to change, they allow them to predict it. A salmon's body starts physically preparing for its journey from saltwater to freshwater long before it ever gets to the river. A polar bear's metabolism shifts to save energy before the ice has even fully melted. It's all about being one step ahead of the game.
But what happens when the world these animals evolved in starts to change? What happens when the cues they've depended on for millions of years suddenly become unreliable?
This leads to a really dangerous problem that scientists call phenological mismatch. Now, that's a mouthful, but the concept is simple. It's when a species' timing falls out of sync with its food or its habitat. Think about birds arriving at their nesting grounds, expecting a feast of insects, only to find the insects have already come and gone. The clock is broken.
And as you can probably guess, human activity is the main driver behind this chaos. Climate change is messing with seasonal temperatures, which throws polar bears and salmon completely off. The artificial light pollution from our cities can literally wash out the light of the moon, confusing the corals and fireflies. We are, on a global scale, scrambling nature's ancient rhythms.
And here's the dangerous irony in all of this. These incredible, finely tuned survival strategies, honed over millennia, they're now becoming a liability. The instinct to follow a signal that's no longer accurate can lead an entire species astray. What was once a brilliant adaptation is now a fatal flaw in a world that's changing too fast.
This brings us to the ultimate challenge these animals are now facing:
It has truly become a literal race against time.
This quote just hits the nail on the head. We've seen that for these animals, timing isn't just a neat little trick of evolution. It's the very foundation their entire lives are built on. It's as fundamental as strength or speed.
And that is exactly why this matters so much to all of us. These species, with their incredible sensitivity to timing, are like nature's early warning system. Their struggle to stay in sync is one of the clearest signs we have of the widespread disruption happening across our planet. They are the canaries in the global coal mine.
And so, we're left with this one, final, urgent question. Evolution is a powerful force, but it's typically slow. The environmental changes we're causing are happening incredibly fast. The fate of these masters of timing now hinges entirely on whether their ancient clocks can be reset before their time runs out.